Hello, so my name is Chastity, and I want to start off by saying that, I want to start by talking about visual loss. About a month ago, I started having really bad headaches that would not go away. I have taken everything. Started taking Tylenol, sinus medicine, BC powder, everything. Nothing would work. I could not move my eyes just back and forth like this. It got so bad where even like touching my eyes would just hurt so bad. I didn't know what I could do. It just hurt. I couldn't even move. It was like whenever I went to drive, I couldn't even hardly look like over my shoulder. It hurt so bad. I live in Florida, so we were on vacation, visited my parents. My vision got to the point where it almost looked like somebody was shining a constant flashlight in my eyes. Everything looked more bright. I ended up going to the hospital, and they did a CT scan, and they said that the CT scan showed up something, and they went ahead and did an MRI. The MRI showed nothing, so they gave me some fluids and they prescribed some Fluoricet. That's a migraine medicine, which didn't do anything. Sent me on my merry way. Finished my vacation in Arkansas. Went back to work for about a week. Still seemed like everything was really bright. What I do for a living is I stare at a screen for 10 hours a day. I had to wear sunglasses at work. Even putting the screen down to the lowest setting that it would go on, sunglasses. I had to wear sunglasses at work, and it was still really bright. It was getting hard to drive home, and headaches were still there. Eyes would still hurt. And then the last day at work was on a Saturday. And then I noticed that my right eye, half of it was completely dark. So I could still see a little bit up at the top, but my bottom right, the bottom of it was completely blind. Now, my left eye started losing all light. So it was more of a, it's hard to explain. So it kind of went from where everything was really bright to everything almost, all the light went away. So everything was more of a dim color, kind of like more of a shadow. So I was at work Saturday, tried to go to work Sunday, couldn't do it. It was kind of running off the road, so I turned back around and went to the ER. They did a CT scan, showed up nothing. CT scan showed up nothing. They ambulanced me to another hospital. That hospital I stayed at that hospital for 6 days. That hospital found out that my optic nerves behind my eyes were inflamed. So they found out that I had optic neuritis. So it came to the point where my right eye was completely blind. I ended up becoming completely blind in my right eye. and my left eye became to the point where I was like I was looking through a negative, like those old time negatives, like the cameras, the old time negatives where you could just see like the shadows. So like my kids were saying it was completely daylight outside. I was just seeing like a silhouette of trees, or I could see a shadow of a person walking by or something. I couldn't see any daylight. Couldn't see a sun or anything. I could just see silhouettes of people. So I have been out of the hospital for about 2 weeks now. I can see fine out of my left eye. My right eye is still messed up. So right now, so if I close my right eye, my left eye I can see perfect. I close my left eye, I cannot see my phone. I can see maybe the silhouette of my phone. So my right eye is still pretty messed up. What they have found out about the optic neuritis, so how, I don't know, I guess my time at the hospital, the main thing is that what I went through at the hospital and how I felt mainly was it was very scary. It was a lot of crying. I couldn't see my kids' face. That was the hardest part, is that I couldn't see their faces. And I didn't know if I would ever see their faces again. Sorry, I didn't think I was going to cry. Not one time did I ever say why me or anything like that, because everything happens for a reason. But it was very scary. Very scary, because you can see perfectly fine one day and then the next you cannot see anything, and it makes you very thankful for everything that you have in your life. Very thankful for just the smallest thing. I'm very thankful that you can see. I'm perfectly happy with the vision that I have now, even though my right eye is still messed up. I'm fine with it. I'd be fine even if I can never see out of my right eye. Totally happy with it. I'd be fine if I had to wear a patch over this eye. I'd be completely fine with it, because I can see my kids. That's all I ask for. So, but anyways, at the hospital, tests after test after test at the hospital. What it was is, first thing they did was they checked the pressure behind my eyes. They numbed my eyes and they did some kind of pressure test, and there was no pressure behind my eyes. And then they, the following morning, because I came in there pretty late after the ambulance drive, that night they did the pressure check, and then the following morning the eye doctor came in and he dilated my eyes, and he said there was nothing obstructing my eyes, so he didn't know what it was. So he said it was something probably to do with my brain, which of course was really scary. So at that point I was, of course, started crying because I didn't know what to expect. And then the neurologist came in and he was, of course, checking my fingers and my toes and making sure I could squeeze and move my toes and ask me questions and asking all the questions to make sure I could answer them. And then that's when all the tests started. So MRIs, I had 4. I had one on my brain, and then one on my spinal cord, and then one on my pelvic, and then one on my neck, I think. They did 4. I'm not for sure all of them that they did. And then I had a spinal tap. So that's all that they did. Yeah. So they, and then a bunch of blood work. So as of right now, everything has come up negative. So they have not tracked down what caused it, other than it started out with a headache that didn't go away. So that's it. Nothing's really came up. I do have a follow-up with the neurologist a couple weeks from now. I'm waiting on, I think he said, a couple more tests for the multiple sclerosis to come back. That's another thing. And lupus to come back. I think they're checking on lupus and multiple sclerosis, since both eyes went almost, since my right eye went completely blind, and then my left eye almost went completely blind, because I think one eye is normal, and then normally one eye goes, but normally both eyes don't normally go. But since both of mine almost went, that's not normal, I don't think, from what I've Googled, but you know, who knows. But I'll try to keep everything up to date on this. This is my very first YouTube post. I've tried to do some YouTubing about this kind of stuff, and I really couldn't find much, but yeah. So I hope you guys found this kind of sorry, I didn't mean to cry. I don't know. But I can see. I can see good enough that I can see that I can see my phone. Who needs a right eye anyways, right? I'll wear a patch. God bless everybody.